Hello everyone, again a new video is releasing, and this video is in the continuation of the chapter 7, Control and Coordination. Like every time, once again myself Girish Kumar Singh standing before you, and many videos I prepared to make you understand the topic. This is also in same sequence. Today, dear students, I will talk about the next topic of control and coordination chapter, and this is the reflex action, involuntary actions and voluntary actions. So it is request to please see, listen and try to understand to build the proper concept in biology. This topic is very important according to the examination point of view, and hope you people will pay attention on it. And in the last, not in beginning, in last, if you will reach to a extent, reach to get something, then do your duty by subscribing, liking, by making comments and sharing. Okay, let's begin the topic. The name of chapter, as you know, it is Control and Coordination. It is the 7th chapter in biology. Before this video, you studied about the introduction of control and coordination and structure, function and types of nerve cells, yani neuron. Today you will study about this reflex action. Dear students, a specific type of stimulus, require an appropriate response, and this response is in the form of actions or movement performed by the animals, and these response should be controlled also. It is the nature of nervous system, control and coordination, that whatever response we will give, that is in properly controlled manner. Okay, so specific stimulus needs a specific response, and that response is in the form of action, is in the form of movement performed by the animals, and these actions or responses are carefully controlled. Organisms generally perform 3 types of actions, 3 kinds of movements. These movements are, one is the reflex action, second is involuntary actions, and the third is the voluntary actions. Voluntary actions. Organisms perform these 3 kinds of movements to respond a specific stimulus. So today we will study about these 3 in somewhat detail. Detail is too much. There will be some brief. So our first topic for today is the reflex actions. Dear students, reflex action is first of all discovered by Henry Hall. Marshall Hall, not Henry Hall. Marshall Hall. And it was the year 1883. As you know, it is discovery, not invention, because it is present. It was present in the body since the beginning. Okay? And he said that it is a nerve mediated nerve mediated mechanical and automatic action. Henry Hall said, the reflex actions discovered by Marshall Hall in 1883, and he said that reflex action is a nerve mediated, mechanical and automatic. Nerve mediated means it is initiated, controlled by the nerve. Now, what will be the definition? This can be also defined by a reflex action is a what? Spontaneous, automatic and mechanical response shown or given by animals to a specific stimulus. Stimuli and stimulus. Stimuli is the plural number, stimulus is the singular number. Okay. So here a reflex action is a spontaneous, automatic and mechanical response shown or performed by animals to a specific stimulus. Animals only, because only animals have the nervous system, plant do not have the nervous system. You studied it earlier. Okay. Now think about the situation. How actually our body responds, means what is the need of reflex action. Okay. Listen. What generally happens whenever a stimulus is sensed by the receptors of our body or any body parts, that information sent to central nervous system, means brain or its parts. Okay. So that information, that stimuli that has been sensed by the receptors. Receptors are the specific tips of the dendrites that sense the change in the environment. Okay. So that information is sensed by the receptors and sent to the central nervous system in the form of electrical impulses, nerve impulses by sensory neuron. Central nervous system has many coordination centers, and that coordination center process the information on the basis of the information they received and on the basis of the experience that has body already. Okay. Then the processed message has been sent to the motor neuron, through the motor neuron in the form of nerve impulses to the effector muscles, where the stimuli or stimulus has been sensed. Listen once more. What happened in the process? The stimuli sensed by the receptors. Receptors convey the information to the sensory nerves. Sensory nerves carry those information in the form of nerve impulses, and that information given to the central nervous system. What central nervous system do? Central nervous system has various coordination centers. In coordination centers, that information has been processed, and that processing is done on the basis of the information they received as well as the previous experience. Now, after processing, the message sent in the form of nerve impulse once again by motor nerves, and motor nerves give the information or instruction or process the information to the effector where the stimuli or stimulus has been sensed. Generally students, this is so long process and this take too much time. But there are certain conditions when the sensations need an immediate response. There are certain conditions when the sensations need immediate response, and if immediate response will not occur, then they can harm the body, they can damage the tissue, or they can cause any type of harm to the body. In such condition, when immediate response is required, this reflex action occurs. That is the need of the reflex action. Okay. Now let's take some examples when the reflex actions happens. These examples you can consider like blinking of eyelids. Okay. Watering or salivating, watering of mouth. When watering of mouth, seeing food. When hungry. Okay. When hungry, or maybe the food is delicious also. Many examples are there like pulling of body parts every time pinched or pricked unknowingly, means without our knowledge. Okay, unknowingly. Every time. If unknowingly someone prick us through a needle, through a thought, with the help of this, that, we suddenly pull our hand to escape ourselves. Or someone pinch. Okay, there are many examples. You have better experience. Okay, these are some examples in which the blinking happens. Dear students, one important feature, character of these actions, that these actions are involuntary. Means they do not involve brain. Okay, processing is not done there. Okay, that's why it is called automatic involuntary actions performed by animals. Okay, let's see the mechanism, what actually happened. See here, components. What components are there? The first component is the receptor. Then through the receptor, with the help of sensory neurons, sensory nerves, then from sensory nerves it goes to part of central nervous system like spinal cord. From spinal cord it goes to motor nerves, and from motor nerves it goes to effectors. Okay, this is the mechanism how the reflex action occurs. Here also too long path, but it is a quick action. See here, receptor, any part of the body, suppose skin. Okay, there have the receptors. Receptors sense anything. Okay, as you know, skin sense the heat. Suppose you touch any hot pot, hot vessel, then suddenly you pull your hand back. How this happens? The receptors sense the changes, means senses the stimuli, and the information of stimuli, here receptors set the electrical impulses, and these electrical impulses are given to the sensory neurons or nerves. These sensory neurons are also called efferent, means those who bring. Okay, efferent. A-F-F-E-R-E-N-T, efferent nerves. Okay, so these efferent nerves or sensory nerves carry the information in the form of impulses, electrical impulses, and they give it to the spinal cord. Spinal cord just convey the information to motor neurons. Motor neurons are efferent nerves. They carry the information. These bring and they carry. Okay, so these motor nerves may be connected with the muscles, and muscles contract to pull the bone back, and in this way the effectors, where the receptors, there are the effectors. Okay, and this effector region has been pulled back to escape from the excess heat sensed by the receptor muscles or receptor cells. So this is the mechanism. Dear students, one more term is here, and that is the reflex arc. What is reflex arc? Okay, reflex arc is what? The shortest path followed by reflex actions. Means this receptor to sensory nerves to this. So this is the reflex arc. Okay, the path followed by reflex action is called reflex arc. 5 components are required, and those 5 components are: one is the receptor, second is the sensory nerves, third is the spinal cord, fourth is the motor neurons or nerves, and 5 is the effector muscles. So these are the 5 components through which the reflex action occurs. Okay, dear students, reflex actions are not only involve the spinal cord, they also involve the brain. Okay, so those reflex actions involve spinal cord are called the spinal reflex, and if it is involve the brain, it can be called the cerebral reflex actions. Okay, you can take the example of cerebral reflex like watering of mouth. Okay, it is cerebral reflex. Or change in the size of retina when bright flash of light focused over our eyes. You have the experience when someone focus a bright flash of light over our eyes, the retina, suddenly we close our eyelids, and then the pupil size reduces, and that minimizes the entrance of light, and that action, reflex action, means closing of eyelids and reduce in the size of pupil, is done by the cerebral, brain, and that's why it is called the cerebral reflex. Dear students, reflex actions on the basis of they present in the body by birth or they learned in the life are also 2 types. One you can say inherited reflexes. Inherited reflex that present in the body by birth, like blinking of eyes, the sucking of nipples by a baby. Okay, no one made the child know how to suck the milk from the mammary glands of mother. The baby knows it. Okay, no need to train it. So that type of reflex are present in the body by birth That's why they are called the inherited reflex. Some are called acquired or conditioned reflex. Okay, these are also called unconditioned. No condition is required. Okay, let's take the example of acquired or conditioned reflex. Suppose you are learning the riding on bicycle. Okay, so someone instruct you. First of all, hold the bicycle with your both hands, then try to ride over it, then push the right pedal, then when the left pedal will come above, you now push the left pedal, then again right, and keep on seeing in front, hold the handle tightly, see in front. These are type of instruction. You may fall down sometimes, and after when you learn riding, how to ride on bicycle, you will able and you do all those actions by yourself. No need to remember that now the right pedal is down, left is up, now I have to push the left one, when to ring the bell, when to apply the brake, when to turn the handle. No need to any instruction to do all these actions. So they are acquired. Okay, acquired, and once you learn it, they become in habit. Okay, likewise the swimming is also acquired habit, that is learned by the organism in their life, and they are not inherited. So, conditioned reflex is first of all experimented by the Pavlov. Pavlov was a scientist, and what he do the experiment on a dog. Okay, that's why it is called the dog ring experiment. What he used to do, whenever he give the food to dog, before giving the food he used to ring a bell. Okay, now the bell and the food, time of giving food become conditioned, and after some days, after some weeks, when the ring start to blow, then the mouth of dog start watering, because he become conditioned that when the bell will ring, the food will come. Okay, so that is the conditioned reflex. Now, voluntary and involuntary actions are remaining. Involuntary actions, those actions that happens without the will of any. Without will, these actions are not under the control of animals. Like you can take the example of moving of diaphragm every time we breathe. No need. It is not under our control. Beating of heart, it is not under our control. So such type of actions which are not under the control of will of the animals, such type of actions are called involuntary actions. And those actions which are under the control of animal are called voluntary actions. You can take the example like walking, dancing, writing. These are whenever we want to write, we can, and if we don't wish to write, we cannot. We will not. Similarly, if we want to dance, we should, and if we not, then no need. So similarly, the voluntary actions based on animals perform, animals do according to their will. Okay, so their will. Here I going to draw the diagram of reflex arc that I forgotten to draw. You will understand it better. I think voluntary, involuntary actions you understood. See here. This is, suppose the spinal cord, one part, two types of nerves, and then these two types of nerves are goes in two directions. Okay. Now see, here suppose it is receptor and this one is the effector. Okay. This goes to the skin. This is showing the skin, and this one is contact with the muscles. Okay. Now see what happens actually. Whenever any stimuli senses here, these receptors send the information, and this is the sensory nerves or sensory neurons. Okay. So these send the information to spinal cord. Here neurons are present, many, and here one more type of nerve is there, and that is called the relay neuron or mixed neuron. Mixed nerve means it performs both kind of work, sensory as well as motor. Now this information given to the spinal cord. From the spinal cord, with the help of relay neuron, it given to motor nerve. This is motor nerve. This one is motor nerve or efferent nerve. Okay. This motor nerve bring the information, and this is in contact with the muscles. Now muscles contract or relax to pull the bone back, and in this way this effector will able to perform the response in that part of the body, that region of the body. This is how the reflex arc and reflex action works. Picture diagram is given in book also. You can see from there, and if you have any problem, feel free to ask by commenting in the comment box of the video. Okay. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, share if you able to understand the content of the video. Thank you very much. Stay home, remain safe. Thank you.